Today, I'm adding a Minecraft world to the LEGO City with little axolotls throughout, building hills in the Shire, and I need your help placing the iconic Up House. Num 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 num. Welcome back to the LEGO City. Last week, we didn't really get too much done. Actually, I take that back. It felt like a lot. We were essentially getting the LEGO City room ready for streaming. We went to Costco, we installed a TV so that we can actually read chat while we're live streaming, but let's be honest, it was more so that we could actually watch Bluey in here. We also did a grand old switcheroo with this desk over here and all of those drawers, so it feels a lot different in here. The whole front of the room used to be a giant mess, and if you believe it or not, it used to be worse than this. This is clean. But in respect to actually building creations in the LEGO City and expanding, building mocks, working on Middle Earth, a lot has happened this week, and I can't wait to show you everything we did. But first is a little backstory on the whole Minecraft situation. Earlier this week, I'm not sure how he did it, but my husband convinced me to drive us both to Target to do some LEGO shopping for new Minecraft sets. And he didn't want just 1 or 2 new sets. He wanted 3, 4, 5 new Minecraft sets. I was initially pretty unsure about all of this because I don't play Minecraft. I don't even know what's going on here. I mean, I gotta say the Mama Moo Cow as well as Baby Moo Cow are really cute, but what really sold me on this were the 3 axolotls included in this set. Obviously, they needed names and I wasn't sure what to name them, but on a Twitch stream over the weekend, we came up with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Coochie coo. Now, looking closer at all the Minecraft sets we just purchased, here we have the Creeper Ambush, here's the Guardian Battle, aka Axolotl Battle Pack, here's the Bakery, we haven't built this one yet, there's the Swamp Adventure with the little frog, but then the one that was most suitable for a LEGO City is, of course, the Red Barn. When I saw this on the shelves at Target, I was not impressed. I don't need a Minecraft barn in my life, or so I thought. Buying a $100 red Minecraft barn was not really on the top of my list. But if we ignore the fact that it is indeed a Minecraft barn and just look at the build itself, it looks like a really classic LEGO set that would have been popular 20 or 30 years ago. I've only been into LEGO about 5 years now, and this was my first taste into what a classic LEGO set looks like. But I think you'll get a better idea as to what I'm talking about if we take a closer look at it in the LEGO City. I was not the one to add this to the LEGO City, and it actually happened while I was on the other side of the room sorting LEGO. My husband Ross was over in this area of the LEGO City building something. At the time, I didn't know it was a barn. Over the course of 40 minutes, he added this whole area to the LEGO City without me even knowing. But he did a great job with this, and I'm pleasantly surprised at how nice this looks in the LEGO City. Despite the huge differences we see in the landscaping techniques from this blocky Minecraft area over to the more gradual plated hills, this new Minecraft area blends in with the rest of the LEGO City way better than I ever thought it would. But this involved a lot more than just taking the elements from the LEGO set and putting them into the LEGO City. The LEGO set on its own only comes with the red barn, the stable, and then some grassy area along the edges. Oh yeah, and there is a little pond. What my husband did when he was building this out was include all of the elements from this set, but then also expand upon it to create a much larger river area, a mini farm, tree from this set here, and then expanded the landscaping to make good use of all of this space. I wasn't initially too thrilled about the barn scene when I first saw it, but I think Ross knew that that might happen. And I guess to make me feel a little bit more excited about this Minecraft area in the LEGO City, he gave me the option of placing all of the little animals as well as the Minecraft people into their new home. As of now, I'm not sure if the Minecraft area will expand or maybe shrink, but for now, I do like how it looks in our LEGO City. This guy over here doesn't seem too thrilled about it though. Maybe he just always looks like that. So now it's time to look a little bit closer at the Shire. We've been working on building out the Middle Earth area in the LEGO City over the last few months. I finally watched all the Lord of the Rings movies recently, and I loved it. And my husband's been a huge Lord of the Rings fan for years, which is exactly what sparked the idea for building out a whole Middle Earth area in the LEGO City. The main focus of Middle Earth for us right now is the Shire, and for the longest time, we weren't sure how to go about creating the hills in this area. The hills in the more natural area of the LEGO City are more plated, more gradual, whereas the build techniques in the official Shire set from LEGO are a lot more slopey, a lot smoother. So for a while, I wasn't sure what to do. We did end up playing around a little bit with that plated method in the front, but it just looked a little weird next to the slopes. But then I remembered this mock my husband made about a year ago. You can see the build techniques used for the edges here are a lot more slopey, more smooth, so we decided to use a technique just like this in order to create these hills here and extend this throughout the entire Shire. It's perfect for building up the elevation very quickly with not too many bricks, and the most important important part here was that the build techniques were very similar to what we see in this Shire Lego set. There's a lot more work that needs to be done here, especially since I want the slopes to come up over to brown, which means the slopes along here need to come up just a little bit more so that we don't see as much of that brown. But also, Gandalf's little cart doesn't fit quite right, so we might need to rethink that as well. It's the next day now. I might have gotten a little bit sidetracked, but the good news is that more progress was made, as well as a huge mess on the floor over here, but we're just gonna ignore that. Whenever we're making more progress on the Lego City, it usually ends up looking something like this. Bins everywhere, loose pieces, plates on plates on plates, but at least the end result makes it worth it. And the fact we just ignore our messes here. So let me get these out of the way and show you the newest addition to the Lego City. Like I said earlier, building out the Shire in Middle-earth has been the main focus of the Lego City over the last few weeks. It's clearly a slow process, since 99% of Middle-earth so far just looks like this. But progress is progress, and the last time I filmed, I showed you this area here with the hills and then the plating method in the middle for Gandalf to go up the ramp. However, we have since expanded the Lego City to include a watering hole pond area for our oinkers. It's still a pretty rough design, but you can see tons of little oinkers there hanging out in the water, hanging out in the mud. They're just doing what pigs do best. We even included this little pitchfork here to shovel the hay. Num 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 num. We built a rough outline of the fence surrounding the farm, but clearly the best part about this area in Middle-earth are the little baby pigs and baby sheep. We recently purchased this Lego City set, Barn and Farm Animals, in order to get our hands on these little baby piggies and the baby sheep. There's also a cow washing station here, but we haven't implemented that yet. But now, let me point your attention over to this hybrid of techniques to make this greenery happen, because I think we found the perfect blend of techniques to build up the Shire. I knew from the start of building up the Shire that it would look a little bit weird if we used this kind of building technique here for the landscaping, where the plates are built up very gradually. I just wasn't sure how accurate something like this would look next to all of the slopes included in our little hobbit hole. But I also didn't want the whole Shire to be made up of slopes like this, because it would look a little bit too chonky, especially next to minifigures. So we decided to Goldilocks it, where it's not too platey, it's not too slopey, it's just right. And this will involve using slopes for any elevation changes, but then using plates for the flatter areas in Middle-earth. I think this hill technique hybrid is going to look really good, especially as we expand the Shire down the slope. My husband and I were heavily inspired by these photos I found from Cyrus Builds on Instagram. He's done an incredible job building up his own creations of Middle-earth. Definitely stick around and subscribe if you're new if you want to stay up to date with everything happening in Middle-earth. But there is one thing that I need your feedback on before we continue into Lego City. And this involves the new Lego Disney Up House that's coming out on April 1st. This was sent to me from the Lego group for review, so thank you so much to them. But I don't know where to put it. We only really have two options. The first option would be to place it in the downtown area of my Lego City, kind of similar to what we see in the movie Up. We could place it between two large buildings, something like this, but it doesn't look as small as it does in the movies next to these two buildings. Maybe they're just not tall enough. But the second option would be to place it next to this waterfall here. We could find a nice home for it over on this hill here and make this into a Paradise Falls perhaps. But then actually a third option that I'm not too sure about would be to tie it from the ceiling using string, because that way it would kind of be floating over Paradise Falls, very similar to what we see in the middle of the movie. I'm a little worried that I would hit my head on it though, so I'm not sure how I feel about this one. But be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments. So that's everything we've done this week in the Lego City, and I'll see you soon!